The CEO of Aerodyne, the company developing Malaysia's flying car or super drone project, says not a cent of public funds went to the initiative. This is amid the furore over a report tabled yesterday by the Public Accounts Committee or PAC. The PAC had said that on November 1st, government think tank Might had channelled 20 million ringgit to Aerodyne, which used the money to purchase office space and drones, as well as for R&D. It also asked the Auditor General's Department to conduct a thorough review of the investment. In a Facebook post today, the firm's CEO Kamarul Muhammad clarified that the company did receive the 20 million ringgit from Might's subsidiary VentureTech. However, the funds were actually part of the $30 million raised in a Series B investment round announced in October and were meant for the expansion of its drone business. Kamarul said none of the monies therefore actually went towards the flying car project, which apparently has been put on hold since August 2019, as the company is focusing on its drone business. He added that the flying car initiative is a long-term journey and will not be mainstream until at least 2025. AMMB Holdings or Ambank saw second quarter earnings shrink due to lower net income and higher other operating expenses. Net profit fell by 8.2% year-on-year to 319.57 million ringgit, while top line rose by 1.7% to 2.35 billion ringgit. The lender declared an interim dividend of 6 cents per share. For the cumulative 6 months ended September 30th, Ambank's net profit rose 2.2% to 711.03 million ringgit, as revenue improved by 10% to 4.74 billion ringgit. Group CEO Datuk Sulaiman Muhammad Tahir says the group continued to show good progress with improving trends in its income momentum, operating leverage as well as profitability. On prospects, Ambank will stay focused on delivering revenue growth, cost efficiency and capital accretion amid the softer outlook for the banking sector as downside risks on global growth remains. The group adds Bank Negara's SRR cut, coupled with a slower third quarter GDP growth of 4.4%, points to an increasing chance for a 25 basis point cut in the OPR at the end of January 2020. IHH Healthcare swung to a profit in the third quarter of FY19 as it made more from sustained organic growth at existing operations and overseas acquisitions. The hospital operator reported earnings of 236.34 million ringgit versus a net loss of 104.07 million ringgit a year ago. Quarterly revenue jumped 33.4% year-on-year to 3.79 billion ringgit. On prospects, IHH says it plans to further consolidate its multi-country portfolio strategy to diversify its earnings base in cash flow generative markets such as Singapore and Malaysia, capture medium-term growth momentum from Turkey and long-term growth opportunities from India and Greater China. SDP Plantation or SDP reported a third quarter net profit of 32 million ringgit on the back of 2.82 billion ringgit in revenue. There are no comparative figures due to a change in financial year from end June to end December. However, according to SDP's filing on Bursa Malaysia, the current quarter's net profit from continuing operations was lower than the 126 million ringgit reported in the previous year. This was mainly due to lower recurring PBIT contributed by the upstream segments and a total non-recurring loss of 44 million ringgit arising from impairment charges on assets in Indonesia and a loan to a JV. The adverse impacts were partially cushioned by higher profits from downstream, lower finance costs and tax. Group MD Muhammad Helmi Othman Basha believes that the group will be more resilient as it puts in place performance measures to overcome industry headwinds. If CPO prices continue to rally, Muhammad Helmi says SDP's prospects will continue to improve in the next financial year and that its legacy issues would be fully resolved. The Malaysian Aviation Commission or MAVCOM says Skandar Sky is not licensed to operate in Malaysia despite advertising itself as a commercial airline. In a statement today, the aviation regulator said Skandar Sky does not hold an air service license or an air service permit, either of which is required to carry passengers, mail or cargo by air in Malaysia. It issued a warning to the company, which at time of reporting still advertises and promotes commercial scheduled flights in its website. According to Bernama, Skandar Sky launched its inaugural flight from Ipoh to Guangzhou, China 2 days ago. However, Mavcom says, to its understanding, Skandar Sky has entered into a charter agreement with Malaysia Airlines, and the flight in question was in fact operated by the national carrier.